Hello YouTube. I want to give you a sense of just how hard that UPS pushes their package car drivers. These drivers have to bring their own food and their own drinks to work because they do not have time to stop out there on the route for a break. Throughout the day in the summer, they're dealing with temperatures in the truck that are well over 100 degrees, especially in the back part of the truck where there's no fans, and the only cooling they have is these vents on the side of the truck that only work when the van or truck is moving. These are forced air flaps that pull air in from outside that's already heated, essentially doing nothing to cool the interior of the truck. The drivers are so busy and they're moving at such a high rate of speed when they're performing labor that they don't even have time to stop to take a piss outside of their trucks. I kid you not when I say that the drivers have to piss in bottles, and sometimes if they don't have a bottle, they'll just piss in the corner of the UPS truck that holds your packages. I know this because I used to work there in those trucks. I had to sweep trash out of those trucks, and we had to bring in our own Lysol to disinfect and to deodorize, because the trucks that we would work in would be contaminated with large amounts of dirt and urine that had been left in there in the corners underneath the shelves. And the packages would be slid through the dirt and the trash that was left in the trucks by drivers and through the dried piss. It's not an exaggeration. I assure you, if you asked other UPS drivers, they could tell you that this happens. I wasn't a driver. I was a loader, and I loaded the package cars and the 18-wheelers that you see being pulled by the big rigs. I did both those jobs. I also unloaded. And I worked small sort, and I worked building safety and health. So I saw it all. The drivers are worked so hard in those trucks without air conditioning that they end the shift most summer days, especially in the southern half of the US, with white rings from sweat throughout their uniform. Their underwear are soaked when they take them off, not always, but most of the time. And their clothing is visibly damp. And they have to replace their browns, those brown uniforms you see them wearing. The drivers do, frequently, because the sweat permanently stains the uniforms. They run those drivers to the point of complete and total exhaustion. Sometimes drivers have to call in sick due to severe diarrhea and muscle cramps and abdominal pain associated with dehydration and severe fatigue from prior shifts where they've worked. It is not unheard of or uncommon for drivers to have to declare a medical emergency on the road because there's no air conditioning in their trucks. And they get overheated and they have heat stroke. And this results in them having accidents on the road. It results in them falling out. And they end up having to take an ambulance to the hospital. This is especially true for your elderly drivers who are not fit, which is why most of the time, if those drivers can or have the desire to, they'll transfer to becoming CDL drivers, because the big rig trucks are the only trucks in the UPS fleet that have air conditioning.